has a lot of clients who own crypto?
I'll make a bet with you.
Okay.
A third of your clients own Bitcoin.
Wow.
Did we do a survey?
I was going to throw out 20%, a third.
And the reason I say that is nationally, 22% of adults in the US. Now, we know that the people who are buying crypto tend to be more affluent. They have the money to invest. And
sheesh, out to the boys. But this is kind of true. Like, I mean, everyone can buy crypto, but typically you start looking at investments once you start making some change a little bit. Like I got a little extra.
You'll put like some side change into it, and like he's not taking into account like people who bought Shiba Inu on eToro or Robinhood, which rightfully is fine to not include that, just because they're not holding their keys there, right? They're just kind of degenerate betting without actually owning their keys. But anyways, like it's interesting to hear kind of the stats on that,
And also think about this, that when you're an asset manager, the typical person is like, you're talking about someone typically wealthy or doing very well. So you're talking about upper middle class and higher and stuff. So this is already a smaller portion of the population that he's talking about. But think about that. So if let's just say it's 5% of the population, and then it's a third of that maybe, then this is kind of makes sense. Some of the numbers wise of like where we're getting, where we got the 4.5% of the population's touch crypto for a second, but there was probably like of that, 1% of them were very affluent and holding a majority of the crypto and stuff. Because no matter what, you can't really escape kind of law of money. People are rich if they just move over to another asset class. They're rich in that asset class as well and stuff. Yeah. But doesn't mean you can't ascend, because then their money kind of trickles down and kind of raises you up as well and stuff. So if you're able to catch on to trends before them and stuff. So yeah, it pays to be early and first and paying attention,
Yep.
About 20%, a third.
And the reason I say that is nationally, 22% of adults in the US. Now, we know that the people who are buying crypto tend to be more affluent. They have the money to invest, and you deal with affluent people. And so your clients, who are often being inspired by their children, are having an exposure to Bitcoin. It might not be a lot, but they have an exposure. And if you aren't talking to them about the record keeping, the tax implications, tax reporting, if you aren't helping them avoid the scams and the frauds, of which we know there are lots.
Yeah, that alone is a service to clients.
Right.
If they bring something to you, to be able to either rip it apart or say, okay, I'll sign off on it, but here's the amount you should do it in.
And for example, how to avoid the FTXs of the world. Or for example, did you realize, most advisors don't know this, that Bitcoin is not subject to the wash sale rule?
Miguel.
Which means,
I don't know. There might be this one course out there where nobody put money into FTX. And also a lot of people were able to get out of Celsius before that collapsed. I forgot which course that was.
Yeah. Or Solana as well, or Luna as well. Yeah, a lot of that.
Luna at $90. Yeah.
And I'm happy to say I said Voyager was trash from the beginning.
Exactly.
I never put one filthy muggle peso in any of these things. And these was actually, if you go back to some of my recordings, there was huge concerns I actually had about Luna. I said I felt like this was going to implode. Like I said that I forgot. I don't remember what quarter. Do we
talked about it? It was I remember we talked about it sometime between September to November of 2021. I remember that. And then we talked about the death spiral possibility. I think it was like around September. It might have even been as early as August of 2021, but it was that probably August to September at that time. I remember us talking about it. And then also then it was late December of 2021, where I was like, it's past an $87. We're on a 6X from $15 or more. Basically time to take profits, and GTFO, and you also got kind of those feelings about it that was just kind of like peaking out and kind of just, the roller coaster at the top of the curve just before the whole thing's about to, go the other way, right?
Because we started seeing smoke, and then we really started seeing smoke. But the thing is like sometimes you do you buy coins just to get the pump and get the hell out, right? Yeah. But I think when we were talking about this, I think Luna was it Luna? Yeah, Luna was at $7. I personally didn't even get into it until it was like $14, and then it pumped up to $84. And I felt in my heart it was going to go to 140, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust my gut on this. This feels bad, and I told everyone, "Yo, I'm selling. Let's get the hell out of this." This is starting, and I was actually very shocked with Luna and stuff. I thought I thought it was gonna take 3 months for it to die. Plus, no, oh Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I was once it started dying, I was like, ooh, this is not looking good, right? And then I remember I was like, there was just like basically I had a moon bag that I just left there. I was like, yeah, I'll take it out if it crashes below a certain point, right?
Right.
Like once it got to that point, the acceleration rate was amazingly fast. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like because I saw it go from I think 120, 140 was the top. It crashed down to $20. So I threw a very small amount of it in $20, and then it was just free falling. It was there was no like resist. It wouldn't bounce on any zones. I was like, so I sold it right away. I took a very small loss, very small. Like it was like a small DCA. Sold it off, and I was like, oh shit, this shit's crashing bad. And then I was like, fuck, I'll try again at $1, and it was like, whoa, and boom, and it's still falling. I was like, oh no, this shit's dead. Fuck this.
Yeah, I didn't even after it started going below like 30, 40, I'm like, just like, because it was looking real nasty. But like, yeah, I mean, we made the money that we made, and we got out, and all's well.
All's well, man. But hey, man, that's the market and stuff. So let's get into it.
And for example, how to avoid the FTXs of the world. Or for example, did you realize most advisors don't know that?
But this is very important, you guys. We've talked about this in the crypto mindset course a lot and stuff, especially this crypto mindset course. We'll be having Steve from accounting. We're going to be doing a whole webinar on taxes, on crypto taxes and stuff. Very few people talk about crypto taxes. Shout out to this guy. This is actually people don't know about the wash rule, the wash sale rule. So listen up. Big tax moment, big major key.
That Bitcoin is not subject to the wash sale rule, which means you could last year when Bitcoin was down 70%, you could tell your client to sell it, immediately rebuy it, preserve the allocation while capturing the tax loss. Think of the value add you're giving your client without ever having anything to do with whether you're telling them to buy it or not.
I think the reason why advisors don't speak to this, and this goes to your vision and what's it, DAC-FP, is because advisors never want to be in a position of embarrassing themselves in front of a client.
Yes.
Looking like they don't know and are not professionals and are not knowledgeable.
Right.
So that's why there's such a...
That's why there's crypto mindset.
Well, that's why Steve from accounting took the crypto mindset, right? Because he knew, right? He was like, this industry is really interesting, got into it, made some money, and then was like, oh, well, yeah, I'm a tax professional. There's not very good information here. I'll apply it towards that. And he took the route that basically Edelman here is talking about, which is educate yourself, understand, be competent enough in it so that when your clients around, a certain area are asking about it, you can explain it, or when family members are, or when friends are, or when colleagues are, right? So the more subjects, right, that you're generally competent about, the more interesting you will be as well as a person overall.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like you just out of nowhere, like you're out at a bar or something, you just start hitting the piano, you start doing ragtime. It makes you more interesting. It's like, damn, you pick up these skills by doing these side quests. But let me tell you this. I haven't met a single person who has taken the course that hasn't improved their life in terms of like with all the information that they're learning and stuff. You become a more competent person in something that when you can be like a matter subject in a group or something, it people respect you a lot more. If they really do. And it puts you into rooms or in conversations where maybe you would have felt like kind of out of place. And because you're spitting all this game and stuff like that, you get an opportunity, you get an invite to another party and I'm talking on the social side, not even talking about the financial side. I'm just talking about the social side and stuff. And it's like, all right, Charlie, yeah, come through, bro, and come through the party. Having a conversation with somebody, you guys vibe and shit. Hey, well, anyway, dude, I'm throwing a party over here. If you want to join me next Saturday and shit. Yeah, for sure, man. I'll show. Boom, that puts you in a room with other people you wouldn't have probably met at all. And who the hell knows?